All right, so again, we are solving for a variable y. So first, I'm going to cover my y, including the sign. So once you cover this, you'll end up getting 5x on your left side. And then we have to undo your 5x. That's a positive 5x, so I am going to subtract 5x both sides. Okay, this will cancel out. And then I can bring down my covered expression, which is negative 1. Don't forget to bring down your negative sign, the negative 1. Now make it a habit to write your variable first. Instead of writing your 10 first, write your negative 5x. 10 is positive. I'm going to bring down positive 10. Now we are not yet done because I have here a negative y. Now we know that a negative y is equivalent to a negative 1 times y. So I have to undo your negative 1 in here. Should I add 1 to remove my negative 1? What is the operation between negative 1 and y? Multiplication. So now since this is multiplication, I need to undo my negative 1 by using the opposite of your multiplication, which is division. So now we are going to divide both sides by negative 1. We can now cancel the negative 1 and negative 1. That's just equal to positive 1. You can write positive 1 times y if you want, but anything multiplied to 1 will just give you the same expression. On the right side, if you have a negative denominator, make sure that you separate your numerator and then simplify each term. So negative 5 over negative 1 is positive 5. And then 10 over negative 1 will give you a negative 10. So your y here is equal to y equals 5x minus 10. All right, for this next question, we are solving for y again. But what do you notice for this problem? How many y's do I have? I have 2 y's in here, okay? I have 2 terms that has a y. So it's hard to solve for y if you have more than, if you have more than 1 term that has the variable y. So the goal here is to make those 2 y's as 1. So how can we do that? We are going to undistribute your y. So when you undistribute your y, so I will have like y plus xy here, right? So I'm going to undistribute this and bring it outside. All right? What's going to happen is that I will have here y. This y here, although we move it outside, we brought it outside, there should be a positive 1 in there. Plus y. Okay? What we learned last year was when you distribute your y to this parenthesis, y times 1 is equal to y. This should be x. And then y times x. So y times x is equal to xy. So we can actually get this from this one. Okay? But this time we're doing the opposite. Instead of distributing, we are trying to undistribute the y. Look what happened here. The 2 terms that have y's, I only have now just 1 y in here. Now I don't need my 1 plus x. Now we have to look at the operation between the y and then your 1 plus x. What is the operation between those 2? That's multiplication. So this is multiplication. To get rid of this, I need to divide by 1 plus x. Okay? So this will now cancel out. You will end up getting p over 1 plus x equals your y. So let's solve the next question. P equals gy plus xy. Again, how many y's do I have in here? I got 2. So the same procedure. Let's undistribute our y. So I will have here p equals, I will have parentheses gy plus xy. So if I'm going to undistribute the y and y here, bring it outside, we are going to have what? Y times what inside the parentheses will be g plus, okay, plus x. But remember, we already undistributed y. We brought it outside. And then, again, we're solving for the y, and y times g plus x is a multiplication. So we just need to remove my g plus x, but g plus x is being multiplied to y. So what should be my next step? Divide by g plus x both sides, and I'll end up getting y equals p over, this is g, okay? G plus x. So the only difference between this question and this question is that I have here expression which is just the y. If you will bring out the y, don't think that it's 0, okay? There should be a 1 in here, not 0. And finally, our last example. This time, I do have a parenthesis. P equals g quantity y plus 6. And again, we are solving for y. The question is, where is my y? If y is actually outside the parentheses, just like what we have in here, then we're done, right? The problem here is that my y is inside the parentheses. So what should I do? Any suggestion? I just need to distribute. Well, if you divide, let's say, what should I use to divide both sides? Let's just go to that route. Let's show that it's not going to work. So what do you want me to divide? Y plus 6. If you do that, let's say, let's approach this question by dividing y plus 6 both sides. This will cancel out. All right, then my y is at the bottom. So when you're solving for a variable, you want the y to be on top. Okay, so how can I make my y go up again? So maybe by cross multiplication, then we'll be back to the original problem. Okay, so the shortcut here is that every time that you're solving for a variable, and that variable is inside the parentheses, you may want to distribute. All right, g times y, and then g times 6 is what? Let's see, g times 6. 6g. Okay, and then we are solving for our y. So just pay attention to your right side. So my right side, I just need to cover the term that has y on it. We're adding a 6g. So how can I undo my plus 6g? You subtract 6g both sides. This will cancel out. You'll end up getting p minus 6g on the left side. Bring this one down, I will have my gy. I need my y. And I have an extra g in here. Again, just look at the operation between g and y. It's multiplication. So I need to divide both sides by g. And you will end up getting y equals p minus 6g over g. Question, can I just cancel my g and g here and say p minus 6 will be my answer? Are we allowed to do that? We are not allowed to do that. If you would like to simplify, it will look like this. P over g minus 6g over g, and then you can cancel this one. Okay? So if you don't have this as an option, p minus 6g over g, then try to check if you have this, p over g minus 6. So when you simplify an expression with a denominator, you have to divide both terms, p by g, and then the minus 6g by g, and try to simplify. Again, if you don't have this as an option, okay, then try to look for p over g minus 6.